Hello and welcome back to the Peak Endurance Podcast. I am your host, Ron Tate, and with me is the other host.
Isabel Tate.
Yes. It's been a 2 week hiatus. Um, Last week we were quite busy. Not that we're not busy every weekend, but this weekend we just happened to be going away on the Friday. So
It was hut to hut.
it was
So
hut
we
to hut.
went
Yep.
and yeah, we just didn't have time because
No.
Ron got home from work and we raced off at the speed of light because we had to be sweeping by that night.
Yes. Yeah.
So we raced up to Bulla, got to our accommodation, unpacked, got our shit together.
And pretty much,
Yeah, and then so we didn't start sweeping till 10 p.m., but me being me, I'd wanted to get a bit of a long run in because I'm an idiot. And I thought, oh, I know, I'll run down to where we're going to sweep.
because
Yeah,
the sweep spot where we were starting from was quite a ways
yeah,
from the event village.
yeah. So we'd have to get a lift down there, which Ron
Yeah.
still did.
Yep.
And it was about 19 Ks for me, but I really only got about 17 and a half because, oh my God, it was so much slower than I expected. Because for a downhill bit, it was like heaps of uphill.
Yes.
And the downhill bit was in the dark and it was super sketchy. It was like
Yeah.
this real fine, dusty stuff, which it was white. And with the head torch on, you couldn't see. There was no depth perception. It was so technical and it
Yeah.
was just horrible. And I was just, yeah, it was just
Yeah.
hard. It was hard. It was
Yeah.
horrible. Everyone else was coming up, so I kept having to stop for them because I didn't want to blind them with my head torch. And then everyone was like, "Oh my God, am I lost?" And I'm like, "No, it's okay. You're all
It's
right."
always a bit disconcerting in the middle of a race when someone comes running towards you.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm fine." And so, it
Mm.
wasn't really the run I was looking for. But anyway, such is
Yeah.
life. And then I sort of got to about 17 and a half Ks, and that's when I came upon the last person because I'd met someone else who'd said Ron was taking someone back to King Hut and I was to go behind
Yeah.
this couple. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yes.
I went behind them and they were a lovely young couple. It was only the guy that was racing, but
Mm.
yes, and he pulled out. So yes, and then we swept all the way up to the top and back to the start line.
Yeah. So
And I was just really not feeling good, like feeling shit, like feeling really shit. And
so you started running down at about 7:30,
no, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yeah,
So essentially you went from 7 o'clock in the afternoon or evening
yeah,
right
till
through until
5 o'clock in the
yeah,
morning.
5 o'clock on Saturday
And
morning.
I'm still rooted.
Um, if you happen to listen to our podcast of a couple of weeks ago where we
Said,
said
don't do that.
don't do an overnight training because it doesn't help.
Yes, well, it wasn't
That's
really training. We were
no, we were
volunteering. I
doing
would
it for a
never
reason.
do that by.
No, we were doing it for a reason. So, but our point was made in that it wrecks you like
I'm wrecked. I'm ruined. But mind you,
following week.
yeah, mind you, the next night we were still up late. So anyway, I was just feeling shit. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but anyway, it was hormonal probably more than anything. I was feeling shit, and we got to the. You're meant to go. You get to the sort of car park, and then you go up to the summit of Mount Buller, and I just couldn't be asked. Like seriously, I was just like, no, I can't. So Ron went and did it with the last person on the Friday night, and I sat down there at the car park and then froze my ass off.
Yes, by the time I got back down, you
Little
were in
popsicle.
quite a cold state.
Yes, so I had, I'd put on a because I was wearing singlet and shorts because it was hot when you're moving.
Hmm.
And so then I put on a t-shirt and a raincoat and I hid behind this, thing,
Concrete barrier.
barrier, that was the
Yeah.
word. I almost said balustrade. And I'm like, it wasn't
No.
that. See, my brain's still not freaking working. Um, and then and then we had to run past our accommodation. And I'm like,
Uh,
and Ron says, you just go back. And I'm like, thank fuck. He's
yeah.
like, and I because literally it wasn't far.
No, it was our accommodation was probably about 500 meters,
Yeah,
not even from
around
the
about,
finish line.
yeah.
But yeah, we literally had to
Right past.
almost run straight past it.
And I ran to the front door and I'd remembered the code, but then I couldn't open the door because, it was a push one and I'm pulling and or whatever. I was doing the opposite for ages, freaking out and putting the code in 45 times. And then I saw the sign on the door and I'm like, oh, okay, open the door correctly, in we go. But yeah, by the time we got to bed that night and put our heads on the pillows, it was about 5:30
Yeah, that's
a.m. at
right.
least, because you
Yeah.
got back.
I got back at 5. By
Mm.
the time I got back into the thing, it was just after 5
Yeah,
o'clock.
yeah. You didn't have any trouble with the front door, did
No,
you?
I didn't. No, I was able to pull it when it said pull or whatever it was.
Whatever it was. Anyway, so then we got to bed at 5:30 the room was so light, I was awake by 7:30.
Yeah.
It was terrible
Yeah, because we hadn't slept there, we didn't know what the room was going to be like
in the
in the
daylight.
daylight, and
It was bright.
it was bright. We were sleeping right under the window, so the gap in the blind shone
Noise
right
shit.
in our face. And
So we got
yeah,
up because
so
I
we got
couldn't go back to sleep.
a whole hour and a half sleep.
Yeah. So and then or maybe 2 hours, and then
Yeah,
we went and had something to eat because you hadn't eaten. I'd had a
yeah.
bit of fake lasagna, and there were people in the kitchen at the tables talking, and I was just like drooling like a zombie. I can't even really remember what they said, but later she did say to me, "Oh, you said yup in all the right spots." So I said, "Oh, thank God."
I went into the kitchen to, I think, do the dishes or something, and I turned around and you had your head resting on the table.
Yes.
I thought, perhaps it's time we went back to bed.
Yeah, so then we went back to bed, and that was like at 10, and then we slept until about 1,
Yeah,
which still is not a lot of sleep
no.
because then we had to get up and get ready to get going
Yeah,
again.
we got up, we had lunch, and then we went back to the village to get our lift back down to the
back down.
to the
We
starting point.
started again at 6 p.m.
Yes, and then we went from 6 p.m.
until 1.
right through until running right through until 12.
I was at
Finished
12. Yeah.
It was 1 by the time we got into bed.
Yeah. And so then we had to go back, and you have to have a shower, and you've got to eat, and and then it was 1 o'clock by the time we got to bed, and it was like
Yeah, so we were up from 5 o'clock on the Friday morning until 1 o'clock on the Sunday morning, and we got about 4 hours sleep. So thereabouts.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't even do maths at the moment.
Yeah, and
so it was diddly squat sleep. And you kind of had to be on the ball because the first night people were getting lost.
The first night was very busy.
Yes.
As sweeps, you tend not to want to be busy.
No,
because that generally means carnage and chaos.
Yes, and it was a bit of chaos.
The Friday night, between sweeping up people and having them drop out to having people get lost and then turn up behind you.
Like the guy that was in front of us somehow or other got lost and ended up behind us.
Took a wrong,
we had to wait for him.
Took a wrong turn, and then we went past him, and then he came up behind us.
Yeah, and someone else. What happened to them?
Someone else.
Oh, that guy that went off down some other path and was halfway down the mountain heading back to the base of my complete base of my.
And we could see a light, and
I'm going, it's your imagination, or let's just keep going. Let's keep. All I wanted to do was get to that finish line.
When I was watching the light as we were coming up, I was watching the light, and it seemed to be going around in circles.
Yes, and that's why I'm like, it's not a person.
What's happening down there? But then I realized later he was on a bike track.
Yeah,
which was curling back with zigzagging down the mountain, and that's why it looked like he was going around in circles.
Like it's just a bit of tinsely stuff flapping, and you're like, it's a head torch. I'm like, no, it's not, because I did not want to go down there.
So,
but luckily, we listened to you.
And the last guide that we were with at the time was a really good whistler.
Yeah, because he could do one of those. With his fingers, not like you.
No, so he whistled and the guy stopped. So I ran down the hill to him and he goes, "Is this the right way?" I was like, no, not.
Well, it is if you want to go to Mirambar, but seeing as you want to go to the village. No,
so,
we were literally a cave from the village, if that.
Right.
If that.
He was about 20 meters from hitting the main road into through the village. Like he was on the final 20 meters of trail.
I don't know what he was thinking. Anyway, he wasn't. It was 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
he wasn't thinking.
That's right. He
looked
quite dazed and confused.
Yes, he was very dazed and confused.
So,
and he'd snapped both his poles.
Yeah, he was carrying 2 branches and
because he'd snapped both his poles. Coming down a technical spot called Muesli. So how you snap both of them, though, that takes skill.
Both.
Yeah.
So he'd had quite the day out. Gotten his money's worth, I guess you could say.
Absolutely, because he was a little bit, I'm last when we said he was last.
Yeah.
But like I was saying to Ron, he wasn't really last because he didn't get cut at King Hart. So the people behind him who did get cut were the last
There
people.
was
Do you
quite
know?
a few
So
people
he,
who not only got cut but pulled out.
yeah, you know, and all those people who pulled out, even the people who
Yeah,
made it through King Hart who then pulled out. So
yeah,
I don't consider it last. And like I also said to you, you can't have a first person without a last
no,
person. Like, you know, and that's why people who get upset about being last, yeah, I get it. But also, it's an important role because if there's no one behind first person, there is no first.
yeah,
So we all have a role, no matter what your
yeah,
position. And so without a last, there is no middle of the pack. There is no first. There is no whatever it is. So,
yeah. That's right.
you know, you have to have someone who's last.
That's
You
right.
literally have to, or there is no race.
Yep.
So it's a very important
Yes,
position
that's right. But particularly in a race like this, which is a very tough race, and
with tough cutoffs.
yeah, tough cutoffs,
Yeah,
to
then
actually get it finished is
yeah,
quite an achievement.
yeah, exactly. So he actually did really well,
Yeah.
although he was stumbling like a drunk man.
And there was even the most obvious points from then on,
Because then
because
it's basically a
then
concrete
I
road.
finished the race with him all the way, and even the most obvious turning points, I had to kind of direct him in which way to go. So
Yeah.
I think he was just lucky to have gotten as far as he did.
Yeah. Yes. And so then, but then Saturday night was very uneventful, and we were
Yeah,
kind of a bit more behind hikers because it's also hikers who do
yeah,
this race. They do it as like a 2 or 3 day. And
yeah,
behind these guys, and they were like, I mean, we didn't really talk to them much, but they were lovely, as in they were so supportive of each
yeah,
other, and they were really, you know, they were really into it. Like as we were coming down into the village, they're just cheering each other
yeah.
and whoa, this is awesome and great. And you know, it's like
And
quarter to 1 in the morning,
that's right.
quarter to 12 in the morning, and I'm like, or night, and I'm like, "Blah." And they're just having a blast, and but it was awesome to
Yeah.
see, you know.
Well, it was team like by that stage it was mainly the teams of two that
Yes,
we were with.
but these
This
were
was
two,
actually
yeah,
two teams.
yeah,
So there was four guys.
and they obviously all knew each
Yeah,
other.
and they were all supporting one another, and there was one guy who was really struggling. It looked
I
like
think he
his
had
knees. I
needs,
think his
yeah,
knees
yeah,
had packed it in.
yeah,
But the other three guys were, constantly waiting for him and cheering him on and
yeah,
encouraging
yeah.
him. And
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. And they
yeah,
were lovely. I mean, they seemed lovely. I don't
yeah,
know. I mean, one of them high-fived us at the end
yeah,
saying thanks, sweeps, and that sort of stuff.
yeah.
So
But that was a very close run thing. Like,
yeah, we got in at five
we got
minutes
5
before.
minutes before cutoff. We were at the top of the summit of Mount Buller. We had half an hour to spare.
And they're
Um,
cheering each other and standing there leaning on the what is it, plinth thing? I
yeah,
don't know what it
I
is.
don't know what it is. Yeah,
And going, whoa, we made it, we made it. And I'm like, come on, boys.
come on,
We got to get down.
yeah, you're not finished yet.
Yeah, you know, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll make it. And I'm like, yeah, well, get a hurry up
Yeah,
because,
that's right.
you know,
So
because you don't want to go, yeah, yeah, we'll make it and then bloody miss it. That would be devastating.
come all that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, they literally got in with 5 minutes to spare.
Yeah, so
So
I think
that's
I
what you
think
call
they'd have gotten a
successful.
fish. They would have
That
gotten a
probably,
fish
I'm sure they
finish,
would have
even if
if
they'd come in
a minute or
30 minutes
two.
after.
Yeah.
It's not like, for sheep stations. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So whereas on the Friday night, well, I pretty much started right after the people who had left that
Yeah,
aid station.
because I didn't quite make it down in
No,
time. Because I saw a couple of my athletes. I
yeah,
stopped and chatted with them.
that's
I
right.
was chatting with other people. I was piss farting around like
Yeah.
nobody's business and stopping, so that I just chatted with some of the volunteers in a car. So
Yeah.
I was constantly stopping and trying to get out of people's way who were coming up. I didn't realize how annoying it would be for other people to have me running down. And
Yeah.
it really made it shit, like
Yeah.
for me, because I felt bad. And yeah, so I was slow for many reasons.
Yeah. So whereas on the Saturday night we
We
started
started together.
nearly an hour behind the
Yeah.
last runners.
Yeah.
So that meant apart from the one person that we caught a lot faster than we thought we would,
Yeah. Yeah.
who was then subsequently
Yeah.
cut because they missed the cutoff.
Yeah.
We actually didn't see any runners for quite a while, for a good 15 kilometers before
Yeah.
we caught.
Yeah. So we got a little
Before we
bit of
caught.
running
So
in there,
yeah,
but then it was a lot of, because they were hikers, not runners,
yeah,
we were just walking
yeah,
from that point. So, which is fine, like, So essentially, so my VO2 dropped 2 points.
yeah.
Actually, three. It dropped three, yeah.
And then picked back up
Picked two
one.
points back
Oh,
up on
yeah,
Monday or Tuesday,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah.
So, which, whatever.
But to their credit, those guys, when we caught
Oh
them
my
and
God.
told them, you're right on the edge, you
Yeah.
need to hurry up, They did actually.
because
Sorry.
they were different guys than the guys who
Yeah.
ended up behind. So they really
So they actually passed a few people
and
after
they
that.
were wearing big freaking packs because
Yeah.
they were hikers, not runners.
Yeah.
They're not little pissy little packs like us.
Yeah.
So yes, so it was and it was just a great event, just it's got such a good atmosphere hut to hut and
Hmm.
seeing everyone up there. Not that we really saw a lot of people because we were
We
in
were all
bed most
either
of the
running or
time.
in bed. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It wasn't
when we
particularly
were
so.
running, everyone else was in bed, and when we were in bed, everyone else was running.
Yeah.
So it was a bit, yeah,
Yeah.
it's always a bit like that when we do that. But anyway,
But
it's good to be part of
yeah,
the
it is,
thing.
and it's a whole weekend. It's a real festival type
Mm,
atmosphere
mm.
there. They'll be mixing it up a bit next year. They'll be dropping the 100
Yep.
and
Doing
adding
it
it.
as 250s and having it
Yeah,
more as a festival
yeah,
kind of
adding an
thing.
extra 50
Yeah.
on instead of the 100 for next year,
Yep.
and then apparently alternating, or the plan is
Yes.
to alternate every year after that.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just a great weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. But absolutely exhausting.
Tiring, very
For
tiring.
us, it was very,
Yeah,
very tiring. So yeah, I'm just shattered still. And it was weird because Sunday night we went to bed super early. I don't know, like we were in bed by what, 8 o'clock?
yeah, I think we're in bed. Yeah,
And then I woke at 9:30 and lay there going, I can't sleep. So I just got up and went, fuck this for a joke, and went and took a sleeping tablet.
yeah.
I mean, non-prescription one, but yeah, because I was just like, I was so exhausted, but my brain was like, tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
tick, So I went, I just need to sleep. So I took a sleeping tablet and
Yeah.
still feel shit though.
Yeah.
And then I got some good news this week.
Yes. Yes. So, we've got some good news to share.
I got into Tour de Géant.
Yay.
So everyone's like, yay.
So,
Who's for the rest of the
it's a case
year?
of careful what you wish for, it might come true.
Yes, yes,
So Isabel will be disappearing off into the hills
yes.
because that's one thing the tour does really well.
Yes, it's
In the hills.
24,000 meters climbing. I was talking to my daughter this morning and she was freaking out, going, oh my God, that's 3 times Everest.
Uh,
And I'm like, yep. Because
yep.
my daughter will be crewing me. As she said, no stinky boys allowed. So it'll just be me and her. And
Because she will be living in the UK at the
yes,
time.
yes.
So it's a
And so she's
short
going to
hop
just
across.
come over and yeah, we're going to meet in Milan and she's going to be very helpful and do all the organizing, like organize a hire car and all that. I mean, I'm going to pay for it clearly.
Yeah.
She's going to organize shit that I pay for,
Yeah.
basically. Which is
Yep.
fair. And then so yes, so we're going to do that together. And she was like, I knew you were going to get in, Mum, because it's 10 years since we were in Courmayeur for CCC. So we're going to go visit. We stayed with this woman, Danielle. She was so lovely. She was actually Australian, but we didn't know that, or I didn't know that when I booked the Airbnb. But she was so lovely, and both of us are still friends with her on Facebook. So we're going to go and visit her afterwards. And then my cousin or second cousin, whatever she is, that we often go visit in Germany, has a house on a lake near, the Aosta Valley. So we're hoping to be able to go after the race, go and stay there for a couple of nights just to relax after the race. And then, and just, so have a little bit of a holiday after.
Yeah.
Before I have to hop on the plane, because if I just drive straight, oops, the race and then hop on the plane, it's going to be horrible.
Oh yes.
So
that would be a nasty plane trip, that one.
yeah. So we're going to try and have it, a week.
Yeah.
Maybe anyway. So
Which would be nice to spend with.
oh yes, because I don't see my daughter very much, which is hard. I mean, the last time I saw her was Barclay last year, which was awesome. So yes. So anyway, and she wants to do all this stuff, and it's going to be my birthday while I'm out there on the course. So she's planning on making me a birthday sash that I have to wear. That'll be fun and not humiliating at all.
It'd be lovely to have happy birthday sung to you by a bunch of random Italians.
That's right. I mean, So yeah, so that'll be funny.
Mm.
And yeah, so that'll be that. And
Mm.
yeah, so that's my racing for the year. I mean, I've got what is it called?
Buffalo
Thank
Stampede.
you. Buffalo Stampede, which is really good training for tour. I mean,
Mhm.
to be fair, I had a very good feeling I would get in this year. I don't know why, just a good gut feeling, and I was right. So that's
Yep.
good. So that's kind of also why I did Buffalo as the Grand Slam, because it will mimic, you know,
Backing up.
backing up,
Yeah.
not getting much sleep, but still having to get out there and push it.
Hmm.
So it's going to be great training. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically
Yeah.
what's happening. That's this year. So
So yes, September.
luckily I've even been saving. So I've got the entry money because it's going to cost, get this everybody, $2,000 to enter. I'm laughing. I'm actually crying on the inside. That doesn't include the airfares or the car hire or the accommodation
Uh,
or just the cost of living over in Europe.
that's, I mean, logistically, it's a big race,
It is a big
but
race. And I was
yeah,
looking into it. They said the cost also includes if you need to get emergency evacuated
right.
out.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I've got ITRA insurance,
Hmm.
which would cover me anyway. And I think if you travel a lot and run overseas, you need to get ITRA insurance because your standard travel insurance will not cover you for doing that sort of thing. They'll go, yeah, 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 we cover you for going in the mountains. But then when they find out you're doing an ultra run, they'll go, bugger that. We're not covering
Yeah.
you for that. You know what it's like when you try to get
Yeah.
stuff out of insurance companies. They'll go, oh, no, we meant if you went for a walk for
Yeah.
5K, you know? As soon as they hear what you're doing, they'll say no.
They'll
So,
call it what is an extreme adventure?
yeah, extreme sport or
Yeah. Yeah.
something.
That's right. Yeah.
So ITRA insurance is super cheap, like compared to what could happen.
Mm.
And because I tend to go overseas at least once a year, I get that, and that covers you for, helicopter, everything. So I've got that, and I
Mm.
will have it regardless. But it did say that cost does cover that.
Mm.
So because I guess they need that because they don't know what coverage other people have,
Yeah.
and they can't go like at Hut to Hut when
Yeah.
someone refused to get helicoptered out for a little while, like if you're on the top of a mountain pass, you need to get helicoptered out.
Yeah.
You're not walking
No
out.
discussion about that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what's happening.
So
Mm.
yeah, and of course it obviously you get this big yellow bag and it gets shuttled around to everywhere, which is a logistical nightmare to make sure
Yeah.
it's there at the right time for each person.
Yeah.
So, from the first to the last. So it's a huge, huge event. And if you've ever seen any videos on the Tour de Géant, which to be fair, we're going to be watching 6 million more.
Yeah.
I
We've
mean,
watched a, we've
we've
watched a
watched them
lot,
all.
but we'll be watching them again.
We'll be watching them again. I already have been because I knew I was going to get in. Um, I've just been doing that secretly, so you
Right.
didn't have to watch them. I was watching them while I was doing my stretching. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the food, like the
Mm.
food and the sleep
Yeah.
stations, and like it's a very well set up race. So
Yes, because we haven't mentioned the fact we've mentioned that it's 24,000
mm,
meters of climbing,
yeah,
but we haven't mentioned the fact that it's 330 kilometers
plus
plus. Yes.
yeah, because it just depends. Like I was listening to a podcast today about, I don't know what year it was this guy did it. I think it was like 2017 to be fair, and he said it was
Mhm.
354 Ks.
Right.
So it just depends, I think, a little bit. I don't know why, because it's the loop. The loop
Yeah,
is the
the loop
loop.
is a loop. Yeah, the mountains
And
aren't getting bigger.
so but maybe different things happen with, different stuff.
Yeah.
And like you have to have crampons, they call them, but micro spikes because, it can snow. And
Was it last year or the year before?
well, when Random Runner did it,
Yeah.
that's when I've been watching. He had to put them on,
Yeah.
the micro spikes. But I've got them because I've run in Canada.
Mhm.
So that's easy peasy for me. And I'm used to them. Oh, used to them as in I know what it
Yeah.
feels like to wear them. So I've got all of that already.
Yep.
But yeah, it's very exciting. It's going to be, I mean, it's going to be hard. Like I was talking about it with my daughter this morning, and it's like, she was like, I know he's going to be having fun on this trip and it's not going to be you. And I'm like, I know. I said, I'm not doing it for fun. I said, it's going to be an epic experience. That's what
Yep.
it's going to be.
Yep.
An epic challenge, an epic experience. Like I always say, I don't want to go to my deathbed thinking, I wish I'd done such and such and such.
Yeah.
I want to go to my deathbed going, I fucking did all the things I
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Yeah.
And, and this is why I say to Ron, I don't wait until I can afford things. I just do them anyway. And I say, and the money always works out because, that's why God invented credit cards, for the love of God, right? He wouldn't have invented them if it wasn't so that I could live a life that I can't afford, right?
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, I've got the entry fee, so
And
that's the main thing.
and the other thing is, this will tick off the second event that you said you would never do.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Third,
Third, is it?
because I said I would never do Barkley. I said I would never do Coast to Cosy.
Coast to Cosy. That's
And
right.
I said I would never do Tour de Giant.
Yep.
I mean, it was at Barkley when Stephanie Case, my first Barkley, when Stephanie's like, oh, you should do Tour de Giant. You'd love it. You'd be so good. And I'm like, no way. That sounds terrible, when she was describing it and how her muscles were breaking down and all this. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. And she's like, oh, it's awesome. And I'm like, no. And here I am.
That's right.
She planted a seed. Old Stephanie. So
Yeah.
yes. So no, that's the third thing. What else have I said I'd never do? Well, I've stopped saying that because I know when I say that, that means I'm going to do it. That's why I think I haven't said I'll never ever do a backyard ultra, because I don't want to say that, because I don't want to do a backyard ultra. I really don't. So I'm not saying it, all right?
That's right.
And maybe one day I'll do a backyard ultra. I won't, but maybe I will.
You will.
I probably will. Oh, fuck.
Just to see what it's like.
I know. I'm an idiot.
Just to see.
Well, if I hadn't got into this, I'd have done the Everesting challenge in Adelaide.
Which is not a true backyard, but it is backyard.
In the vein of it.
Backyard-ish.
Yes. But I did message Sean and went, sorry, I can't do the Everesting challenge, and sent him a screenshot going, I got in, because we saw him at Hut to Hut.
Did, yeah.
And I said to him, oh, I was thinking of doing the Everesting. He goes, oh, you're talking about doing it, you'll do it. And I said, well, I've entered Tour de Giant, I don't know. And he's like, oh, I'd love to do Tour de Giant.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought I had to rub it in that I got in, because I'm like that.
As Sean described the Everesting event, it's the backyard ultra with his rules. Like,
yes.
He's not using Laz's rules.
No,
he's using his own.
Yeah, and I like his rules. I actually like it. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be difficult because it's 5.3 Ks, but it's a lot of climbing, and it's a little bit technical, not super technical. There is a YouTube video out by Bigfoot Ultra, but Sean did tell us it's the wrong way round.
Yeah,
so if you watch that, and still watch it, because it gives you a good understanding of what the course is like. And shout out to Bigfoot Ultra. He's great. He's going to good luck with that race.
Yep.
But he did it the wrong way around. But you still get the impression. And he actually said it while he was filming. He was going, I wish it was the other way around. and it was.
Yeah.
So so it still gives you an idea of what the trails are like. So but I'm sure he'll do it again. Perhaps
he did say he's going to spend a fair bit of time out there on the course. So.
It's for people, if and if you're in the area and you want to train with him, go and get in contact with him. And so that was what I was thinking of doing if I didn't get into tour, but I kind of knew I'd get into tour. I don't know, I just had a gut feeling. Right, like Elizabeth said, we had to talk it into existence. I never knew my daughter was so woo-woo until like, she's almost more woo-woo than me. So she was like, she wouldn't let me say anything slightly negative about not getting in. Mum, stop it, you've got to act as if you're getting in. Okay. So anyway, she's very excited. So so she wants lots of tips from you on how to crew me.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Because she's like, what do you like when you're getting crewed? What do you like? And I'm like, I don't know.
We'll have to have a
So I said, when we're doing Buffalo, I'll actually pay attention to what I'm thinking and feeling. And I
mean, you're not a hard person to crew for.
No, I don't think so.
In fact, you're quite easy in the fact that you don't actually spend a lot of. I mean, you might a tour because it's a lot further.
Yeah.
So, but. In a regular event, you actually don't spend a lot of time at the aid station.
No, that's right. I almost feel bad. Like you stay up all night to crew me.
Yeah, the onus on me is to get you in and out as quick as possible.
Yeah, I don't like hanging around.
So it's a whole lot of waiting around, and then you whiz past, and then I'll go to the next one to wait around.
It's just the longer you spend in the aid station, the longer you're right there, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And my opinion is, get this over with. I mean. Anyone would think I hate ultrarunning. Get this fucking shit over with as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But
You don't sit down and you barely stop.
because I know if I sit down, I'm not going to
Yeah.
want to get up.
Yeah.
I just know. I know me,
Mm.
and that's why I don't want to. That's why I don't want to say it. That's why backyard ultrasound's hard to me, is
Yeah.
because you
You have to
got to,
actually stop.
yeah, you got to actually stop, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm probably not going to ever do one, but I might.
Yeah, we say never, but we don't.
No, I'm not
don't
saying
really
never.
know.
I will. I'm not going to say that because I don't want to do one. So I'm not
No.
going to say I'm never going to do one because I seriously don't want to do one. So next time you hear from us, I'll probably be doing one next year.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
because this year's sorted now, that's this year done.
That's that you.
I might do Adelaide Miler as training, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
it won't. It certainly won't be if you do it, it won't be an A race.
Oh God, no.
Not even.
No,
Yeah,
no.
it'll be a training run.
Yeah, it'll be a catered training run,
Yeah.
So but even then, I just don't know. I
It's
just think doing races is good because I
Yeah.
get nervous for races and I find I need to do B races to help me with the nerves.
Yeah. The main thing stopping you from doing it is the fact that it's only 2 months before the big dance. So
I'm not sure how I will recover. Like I think all right, but I don't know. Like the last time I did a miler was last Ultra Adelaide, which was July last year. I haven't really done much.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of like, I'm going to need to do something. So I've got Buffalo.
Which in actual fact is pretty much a miler.
Yeah, it is a miler. Yeah, it's 152 kilometers. Yeah, it's pretty much over 3 days.
Yeah.
But then I just feel like I need to do something else. And maybe, I don't know. There's just not much mountain races over winter in Australia because the mountains are covered in snow, of course. And so I mean, I don't mind running in the snow, but they don't like it.
Apparently the insurance companies
probably not. I mean, anyway, whatever. And I think a lot of Australians, aren't used to that. So I'm only used to it from Canada. So
yeah, well, I mean, in Australia, people don't live in the snow.
Yeah,
whereas in Canada, they do their race in the snow because that's just where they live.
That's just where they live.
But you actually have to get out of your comfort zone to go to the snow.
That's right. I mean, I did a few races in decent snow, like holy moly, it was bad. I mean, it was great, but it was, a lot. So anyway, that's this year. And so we'll have to see. I don't know what I'm going to do other than that as sort of B races.
Yeah.
Because even then, is 100 miler too much? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should just do a couple of hundred. I don't know. I need to think about this.
Maybe the Ultra Adelaide 100K rather than the 100 miler.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's something that we'll discuss and,
I'll
ask
my
what's
coach.
best for you. Yeah.
And see what he, she, it says. That's the coach is me, obviously. So we'll see what I come up with, what I decide, what I basically have to think is what would I tell my athlete to do? That's what I have to think.
Yeah.
What would I tell one of my athletes and then do the opposite? No, do that. Then do that. Yeah. How are you going? What's the injury update?
My update is things are improving. I actually got, through over the weekend at Hut Hut. I did.
Seeing as hills are the bad thing for your injury.
Yeah. I did 50 something kilometers over the weekend with each night was like 1,800 meters of climbing. So about 3,600 meters of climbing. And I came through it unscathed. Like things were no worse. So I was pretty happy with that. My running this week has been terrible just because I think I'm so tired.
Yeah. Because you were stressing, going, oh, I'm so unfit. And then like I ran today and felt shit. And it's like, I'm not unfit. I think we're just both tired.
Yeah. Like I had a run yesterday. I did 8Ks.
He was really upset.
And it just like from 3Ks on, I was like, I might as well just turn around and go home.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I was not having fun, and then I nearly got hit by a car on the bike path.
There was an escapade from somewhere.
I don't know what he was doing, but he was driving very fast down a bike path. So
with the helicopter.
With a helicopter circling over the top. So thankfully, I'd actually stopped at the drinking fountain and happened to be
out of the way.
I was out of the way because a minute earlier I'd been running along that with my back to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know what would have happened if that had been the case.
I'm sure he'd have tooted at you. I'm sure he didn't want to be a murderer.
But the thing was, I had my headphones in, but also I wouldn't have known what that was. Like,
No,
because I
yeah,
certainly
not what
wouldn't
you
have been
expected.
expecting a car coming up behind me on the bike
Yeah,
path. So,
yeah,
so that was, yeah. So that I was just feeling, and it was
shit.
fairly warm, like not
Mm.
boiling, but it was fairly warm,
It
and
was kind of humid and
yeah,
horrible because we went to the gym and I came out like a sweaty mess.
yeah,
And it's like, I don't normally sweat when I go to the gym, but it
yeah,
was just, I don't know, it was rank. It was
yeah.
horrible.
So, yeah, I do have to, acknowledge the fact that I'm still tired from the
Yeah, yeah.
weekend.
And because not only were we up all night, 2 nights in a row, but you drove there and drove back.
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't sleep on the way back.
No, you didn't. No.
I took one for the team and kept awake to keep you awake.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd noticed.
So yeah, but pain-wise, things are going okay.
Yeah.
Things are improving.
Yes, he's actually been doing his exercises,
Yep.
shock horror, because he's noticed they actually
They
work.
actually work.
Who
Yeah.
knew physio exercises would work?
I
Who
know.
knew?
Not me.
So no, I know, but you wouldn't know because you've never done physio exercises before. So yeah, so that's that. Ron's
Yep.
back at it. Now, also, I was also going to say, in regards to the Tour de Jean, we will do regular updates so people kind of know, because people have already asked, because I posted a screenshot about it, keep us updated on the training, because people want to know
Yep.
what sort of training to do for these kind of maintenance runs. So I
Yep.
will also keep people
Yep.
updated with that. And we might
Mhm.
have a couple of podcasts here and there talking about training methodology.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yep. All righty.
All
Okay.
right.
So let's talk about what we're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about
Well,
today,
we
Ron?
thought it was quite topical. We thought we'd talk about volunteering at races.
Yeah.
Now it's something that we've both done quite a lot of.
Yep.
Over the years.
Yep.
We both believe it's quite important to do.
I've always just really enjoyed it too. As long as I'm doing something that's actually helpful, not just sort of, but like I did volunteering heaps in Canada. I did volunteering. I've done heaps in Australia. Like, I've always done a lot. So, because ultra running can become sort of self-focused. It's your training, your racing, your nutrition, all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But basically this sport survives because of people who volunteer.
Yeah.
Races couldn't go ahead without the volunteers.
No. And they come in all shapes and sizes volunteering too.
Yes, absolutely. And at some point, if you want to be part of this sport long term, you need to move from just a runner to a contributor, to someone who gives back.
Yeah.
You can't just keep taking. It's the same with anything. You can't keep take. At some point, you have to give back. And there's generally, they give you free entries or this or that or whatever. To be honest, that's never why I do it. I don't do it for free entries.
No.
I couldn't give a rat's ass. I'm happy to pay, even if I volunteered, I'm happy to pay for a race entry because I know that race directors are small businesses and they are not bringing in the big bucks. It's not like it's UTMB or something that we're helping out. We're helping at, grassroots races. And these people are not making a lot of money. I know I'm a small business owner. I know how freaking tough it is to make any kind of money whatsoever. So, and all the hoops they have to jump through to even get their races going. The least I can do, I feel, is contribute with a race entry and then some volunteering as well. So, yeah. All right, so what sort of volunteering jobs are there, Ron? I mean, obviously there's sweepers, like what we did.
Yes, sweepers, which we do mainly in a lot of, in several different sorts of races.
In Canada, I did a lot of course marking of races.
Yep. Which I do as well for
2 bays.
Particularly 2 bays.
And in Canada, I was on aid station crews before.
And that's the obvious one. That's the one that people see the most.
Yeah, and that's what people think of when they think of volunteering, but there's so many other jobs.
No,
when I was in Canada, I also did car parking. Like I helped with car parking. That's an important role too.
Yep. There's
I've done gear check. Sorry, I keep talking over the gear check I've done for Bogle Hotham many years ago.
Yeah. There's just a general good old fashioned marshal.
Yep.
Pointing people in the right direction.
Thanks,
Marshall. Something you should always say.
That's right. Not thanks, volunteer. Thanks, Marshall.
Yeah, thank you, Marshall.
Right after you said gin and tonic.
We're talking Al Pepper.
Yeah, Al Pepper on YouTube.
Registrations, gear checks. Like
we've done medical support too.
Yes, we have. You'll see particularly in Australian events, a lot of the medical guys are volunteer.
Yep.
Um,
Because I'm a level 2 first aider, so
Yep.
I've got, the first aid
Yep,
qualifications
and that's,
needed.
I mean, they do have doctors and more
Yeah, yeah. For
qualified,
people.
but I think you'll find most of the people that are out there are first aiders.
Yeah, first aiders with a good heart.
Yeah.
Yep, drop bags, because drop bags are bloody important.
Yeah.
Going, taking it out, picking it up. Even like the sag.
Yeah, well, one of the
Is that what
things,
it's called, sag?
sag wagon.
Yeah,
One of the features of Hut to Hut is because it's in a very remote area, they have a team of four-wheel drive
yeah,
people who are constantly on the go, transferring people, equipment, picking people up when they pull out of the race.
yeah.
It's quite logistically, it's quite a big job.
Yes.
They have a team of 4 or 5 four-wheel drivers constantly on the go. That's a big part of it. And they have at Hut to Hut, the two major aid stations are actually crewed by four-wheel drive clubs.
Yeah, they're complete volunteers, and not even runners.
Nothing to do with running.
No.
They're four-wheel drive clubs that love getting out in the bush.
Yeah.
And they get out there and they camp at the aid stations and feed and look after all the
And they were making pizza. We missed out on the pizza. We got sausage and bread.
Yeah.
But they were a little bit offended that we had to leave before the pizza.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's another aspect of volunteering.
Parking and traffic control, like I said already. Timing assistance, although normally we have kind of
that's usually a different company.
Yeah, that's
in Australia.
A company thing.
I know in England it's not necessarily like they do a bit of hands-on.
Oh, with the dibbers.
Dibbers and clipboards and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas most races in Australia are actually done by a timing company.
But you can help with course pack down, not just the sweeping, which is demarking, but also just the finish line pack down and that sort of stuff, and packing everything up and putting it in the vans and whatnot. And there's a job for everyone. Like I enjoy doing different things. I do find sweeping difficult because I find it really tiring. But that's just because I'm a wuss. But there's heaps of things. There's heaps. And like I said, I've done all the different jobs: parking and traffic control. I've done registration. I've done gear checks. I've done course marking. I've done course demarking. I've done sweeping. I've done, it's just fun to be part of it.
It is. It is. And there tends to be a real community around the volunteers.
Yep.
A lot of races have a volunteer page, like a Facebook page, where all the volunteers can have a chat and talk about things.
Yep.
So it's a real community.
And look, if you are an injured runner at the moment, this is the perfect time to be volunteering. And that way, if you want cheaper or free entries, you've got some cheap entries for when you get back into it. But it's more than that. It's more about staying within the community.
Yeah.
I always say to runners who are injured, do volunteering so you're still part of the community, because otherwise you're injured and you sit at home and you end up, you feel like everyone's off there having fun doing stuff, running stuff without you. Go and volunteer. Then you're part of the community, even if it's the local park run. Like, you don't have to wait for a big event. Just help with the local park run.
Yeah.
And then you're still in the race community and you've got that routine and you're still got your runner identity.
Yeah. There's nothing better than, as an injured runner, watching everyone else having fun running.
Yes. Or seeing them. Yes, I know. But seeing them in the depths of the hurt locker.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, and you go, God, I wish that was me. I want to be in the hurt locker. You don't think like that.
No, I don't think like that at all.
I'm always like, I want to do that. And then when I'm doing it, I'm like, I don't want to do this.
I'm more of the thank God that's not me category.
I like the start of races when I'm volunteering, because it's like, here I am at the start of the race and I'm not even nervous. That's what I like.
Yeah.
And then they all go and I'm like, oh,
I
want to go.
Like they're going to have fun
right
up until they're not.
Yes. So, it's being a part of the racing environment and the community without having to race.
That's right.
Obviously, because you can't.
Yeah. And quite often, you get to remember why you love the sport, because you're actually around it, but you're not actually putting yourself through the pain.
Yes.
And angst of the sport.
Yes, that's right.
So you get to miss it.
Yeah, that's right. FOMO.
Yeah.
And then you
That's
do
right.
it and you're like, fuck, why did I miss this
No.
agony?
And it just helps you to feel part of
Yes.
the, the whole community.
Now, also, when you're a runner in a race,
Mm.
you kind of only see that little bit of the race that you're in.
Yeah.
Mind you, not me,
No, no,
because
no.
I start up the back of the pack. I go through the mid pack. I used to, not anymore. And then I used to end up at the front of the pack, not anymore. But so I used to see the whole race, and
Yeah.
I used to love that because I would talk to freaking the whole field. No, I just kind of stay at the back of the mid pack and almost at the back of the pack. But anyway, we digress. But when you're a volunteer, you see everyone.
Yeah.
If you're a middle of the pack runner, you kind of just that's all you see.
Yeah.
But when you're volunteering, if you're at an aid station, you see the front pack, the mid pack, everyone. And I find it interesting when we came into Haikwa, this woman who was volunteering on the Haikwa aid station. I don't
Yep.
know if she was a runner. She said it was really interesting watching people's strategies. People would come in early in the race, like obviously doing well,
Yeah.
but she said absolutely death marching, oh, dying, absolutely had thrashed themselves and were just walking. And she said, and yet a few hours later, people would come in all fresh and good,
Yeah.
even though they're a couple of hours behind.
Yeah.
So she said it was just really interesting. And that's the thing.
Mm.
As a volunteer, you can see that it's interesting seeing the different ways that people pace themselves or deal with discomfort. You'll get people coming in being rude and obnoxious. You'll get people coming in being lovely and kind. And you'll be able to go, I wonder which person I'd rather be
Yeah.
when I next come into an aid station.
Yep.
You don't want to be that person yelling at the volunteers
Yeah.
or being seen to be yelling at your crew.
That's
Um,
right.
you
And
know,
it all, like you were saying, it gives you a good idea of, if you're trying to figure out how to pace a race, and you can
mm,
see how people do it when they do it wrong.
yes, that's right.
It
You
gives
want to
you,
rethink your
yeah, that's
strategy.
right. It gives you pause for thought and to figure out
Yeah.
what your strategy should be.
And also you could be there at an aid station and you'll learn a lot from the front runners on their
Mm.
nutrition and how they deal with nutrition. And you'll see the difference between the people up the front who don't spend much time in the aid stations to the people at the back who's spending 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And this is where you learn so much about racing,
Yeah.
so much.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yep.
so and it would also help you to build empathy with everyone throughout.
Yeah.
Like people think, oh, the people at the front, they don't suffer. They're such good runners. They just have it easy. Like it's not hard for them. They suffer too. And
Yeah.
you'll see that when you're volunteering. The front runners, they're pushing freaking hard and they are suffering. It just happens to be for a shorter time.
Yeah.
And this is what we always say. Training and getting yourself race ready doesn't stop you suffering. Everybody suffers, from the person who wins in a record-breaking time to the person who is DFL.
Yeah.
Everybody suffers, and training 20 hours a week won't stop you suffering. It'll just be at a faster pace that you're
Yes. It means you
suffering.
don't suffer for quite as long.
It's not quite as long, but in many ways, it's a more intense
Yeah.
suffering,
Yep.
because it's faster and you're not trying not to, there's no opportunity to walk and, have a bit of a chill out.
Yeah.
So it can be interesting to
Mhm.
see, what it's like for different people in the
Yeah.
field.
Yep. And another thing, it helps you to see, what happens around the organization of an event, because some people just think, oh, you pay your money, you turn up, and everything
And
that
they
you
sort of
need
going,
is
yeah.
there.
And also, what does this entry money even go for? Why is
Yeah.
race entry so expensive?
Yeah.
And
So
when you're involved, you see
what some of that money goes to,
all of that money. I mean,
Yeah.
because I can tell you right now, race directors, like I said
Yeah.
already, they're not bringing in the big bucks. We
No,
can
they're
tell
not.
you that right now.
Yeah.
We know from having spoken to them, they are not.
Yeah.
You
So,
know,
you'll see the things that go in, like, I mean, if you're on an aid station, then you're not going to see this sort of stuff. But if you hang around,
even at the aid station, you'll see what's involved in setting up an aid
yeah,
station.
that's right. But things like permits and insurance, which is a huge cost.
Oh, huge. And stress.
Yeah. The detail that goes into some course marking.
Yes, that's
We
right.
know at Hut to Hut, their course marking for the week
Yes, that's
before
right.
the race.
And they're not just course marking, they're chopping trees
Yeah.
and clearing and getting rid of the brambles and, making it so you don't have to climb over 60-foot logs the whole
Yeah.
time. There were sections of it after you come up from King Hut where they'd done a heap of
Yeah.
clearing. And that's them bush bashing through the bush with chainsaws and whippersnippers and,
Yeah.
it's hard bloody work. You
Yeah.
used to do that too.
Yeah, they did. And they start doing that from
January.
January onwards.
Yeah.
So for a month
So
beforehand, they're going up and spending their time
their weekends
yeah
doing that,
doing that.
you know.
100 Ks is a lot of course.
Yes, that's right.
And in the wilderness, which is the high country,
Yeah.
no matter how much you try and beat it back, nature always
Oh, yeah.
wins.
Wins. Always, always.
So
And you'll see from being part of a volunteer group the logistical nightmare that
Yeah.
is organizing volunteers.
that's right. And if you happened to have a radio on you over, it's constant. Like there's a lot of toing and froing, a lot of checking, a lot of confirming, a lot of, where's this runner, where's that runner.
Yeah, yeah. Making sure everyone's on course
Yeah.
and safe and, picked up. Then there's organizing them getting picked up, organizing extra food and water for aids.
Yeah.
You're right there running the course. You have no idea all the stuff that's going on behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
Yep.
Like it's a lot,
Mm-hmm.
So, and when we were in King Hut, like a woman, I won't say her name, I do know her, but she collapsed
Yes.
and required, she was okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry, everybody. She was okay, but she required, considerable care and talking through it. And, so there's a lot that goes on, a
Yeah.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you understand a bit more the pressure on race directors. Like
Yeah.
I was at a race in Canada where, and I marked the course, so I know. And in Canada, they like every 200 meters a confidence marker. So we marked the course like a mofo, me and my friend. And then one guy, when he finished the race, he ran up to my other friend who was the race director and screamed and yelled at her that he got lost and no, 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 no. And I'm standing there going, I know, I marked that part of the course. If you got lost, that's because you were looking at your feet.
Yeah.
Because there was, arrows and ribbons and everything everywhere. But just seeing people scream and yell at a race director like that, like seriously, a little bit of self-responsibility. When you're a volunteer, and I was like, I did that marking. I know it was good.
Yeah.
You understand, and like seriously, it's like, yeah.
I once had a runner demand their money back
Oh God,
after the race because they'd taken a wrong turn. And as soon as I found out that they'd taken a wrong turn, I actually sent someone to look to confirm that the cross that I'd put up was still there.
Yeah.
And they'd run past the cross.
Oh God, of course.
Saying don't go past it. And they were so adamant that they should get their money back. Because they ran off course.
Yes. And that makes you realize when you're a volunteer that people need to take a little bit of self-responsibility.
Yeah.
And it makes you a better participant in the event when you understand what it's like on the receiving end of some of this stuff. And ultimately, at the end of the day, no one should treat race directors and volunteers in that manner. I'm sorry, but it just shouldn't happen.
No, they're putting the race on for you.
And like my friend, she was doing it. She wasn't making that was not she worked full time. That was a side gig, and she was doing it like hut to hut to raise money for charity. So it's just disgraceful. But anyway.
Yeah. So it gives you that appreciation of how hard it is to put on a race.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work, a lot of coordination, and a lot of I know people go, oh, racing is so expensive, but when you see what's involved in making it happen, you go, okay, I get it now.
Yeah. Yep. And basically, it strengthens your idea of the community around running, and helps you focus on the people around you, not so much just on yourself and
also because ultra running is still it's not a lot anymore, but it's still grassroots level a little bit. It's slowly easing out of that into the non, but anyway, it basically ultra running survives on volunteers, on people giving time, on people showing up, and people helping strangers, and sometimes like complete strangers, and showing such love and care, like it's awesome. So when you volunteer, you become part of that ecosystem, and you're not just extracting experience, you're actually sustaining that experience for others so others can have that
Yeah,
experience. And that matters.
it does.
You
It
know,
does.
that's what I love about ultra running is that grassroots people caring for other people. When that disappears, the whole sport will have
Yeah,
changed.
yeah, that's right.
So we want to keep that going.
Yeah, it's it's not a stadium sport. It's
Yeah.
not a huge viewership.
Yeah.
Basically, we're out there to support
And no, yeah,
each other.
yeah, that's it. Because at the end of the day, you go home and nobody gives a rat's,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But in that moment, that volunteer gives an absolute rat's about you.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
be that person.
Yeah,
You know, and if you've been in the sport a while, you owe it something.
yeah,
Okay. New runners are watching. You could be the person who only races because you're so important, or you could be the person who helps build the culture
yeah,
of the race.
yeah,
Like I love just cheering people on when we're
mm,
volunteering, and
yeah.
really, what was it? A friend of my, one of my athletes said she saw a video of some guy at two bays running along, like he'd put not a YouTube, a TikTok up of him running, and she said in the background she could hear me cheering. And I'm like, oh, embarrassing. I'm like, is my voice that distinctive? She goes, I don't know. I could just tell it was you cheering. And I'm like, okay, that's
The-
totally me, you know, but
One of the things we love about two bays when we sweep
yes,
two bays is
yeah,
the fact that because it's an out and back, we see every runner coming back
yeah.
towards us, and
And
we
their
get to cheer them
names, and
on.
we get
Yeah,
to cheer them on. And also, a lot of people have funny names put
yeah.
on their bibs. So it's like, you know, it's
Yeah,
cool.
part of the fun is trying to see their name on their bid before they
As they,
run past
yeah,
you and calling it out.
yeah, I get like a husky voice
Yeah,
after two bays
yeah,
often because, you know, I'm so cheering people on so much.
yeah.
So, you know, I don't even keep my medals anymore, right?
I
When I
didn't
do a race,
keep them.
I either say, nah,
Yeah,
don't worry, or
yeah,
I threw most of my medals out, except for like my world championships and all
yeah,
that. But even then, I don't even know where they are. Um, so it's like medals don't matter to me, but
Mm,
being part of the community and the culture does.
yeah.
And that's, I get so, I mean, they said that at the end when we finished sweeping, oh, do you want a medal? And we're like, nah,
No,
because that's not what we're
not
here
no.
for.
Didn't do it for a medal.
We're here for the because the
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
basically, the people. That's what
yep,
we're there for, you
yep,
know?
yeah,
So yeah, we talked about a smarter
yeah,
athlete. We kind of covered that anyway. Yeah, and so then you become more than just a runner. You
yeah,
become a community member, a contributor, a supporter, mentor. Like the guys at the end, they're like, sweeps, thanks, woo,
yeah,
high five, you know?
yeah.
Like we weren't, they don't know that we're runners and that we
Mm,
normally run. They just know that we're sweeps and
yeah,
we're there to help. and and that's what we are. Like we're there to provide motivation and
yep.
help and band-aids and gels if necessary,
That's
whatever
right.
it takes,
They know that we're there solely to help them
yeah,
finish the race.
yeah. And that is all that we're there for. We're
Yeah,
not there for anything for
yep,
ourselves. No great achievement. Certainly wasn't a particularly good training weekend for us because it was all walking and
yeah,
not all walking, a fair bit of walking and
yeah.
slow walking, and
Yeah.
like I said, my
Late
VO2
at
went
night.
down 3
Late at night.
late at night, which is my absolute Achilles heel, which I
Mm.
obviously, come towards you on, because that's going to be numerous nights.
Hmm.
Um, but it's not what I love,
Hmm.
staying up late, but I love helping.
Yeah. Yep.
So yes,
Mm.
so
Yes, just on that, one thing we didn't really touch on was that Tour de Giant, you'll be out there for quite possibly up to or over 100 hours,
oh
depending
yeah,
on
I'm
how
tipping.
it goes. So
I
that's,
mean, the women's course record is 79 hours, so
yeah,
I'm not going to be like, giving that a shake.
yeah.
So
So that's, quite possibly up to 5 days
shut
you'll
up.
be out there on the go.
Elizabeth said to me, "Don't forget to look up sometimes,
Yeah.
Mum."
Yes, that's right. Don't finish it like you did the Swiss Alps and say the views were shit.
And then
When
I
you're
watch
running.
YouTube videos of other people going,
Yeah.
"Wow, that looks amazing." And Ron's like, "That's the race you did." And I'm like, "Oh, it looked shit from my angle. My feet were
Uh,
really boring."
yeah, don't do that. Not when you're running around,
Yeah, I know, I know.
going
It's
up.
all the similar sort of area.
Yeah,
So
it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
this time I'm actually going to look up occasionally, just
Yeah.
occasionally.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So one day you are going to need help
Yeah.
at 2 a.m. in
Yeah.
the rain potentially. You'll
Yeah.
need someone to fill your bottle, give you soup. I mean, I remember when, that time when I run one GSER, I remember having some chicken soup in the middle of the night, and it was awesome. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. You're going to have someone telling you to keep going. You're going to have a sweep behind you. They are invested. Like, to us, our goal is to get them. It's not to cut people, it's to get people to the finish
That's
line.
right.
When we say sweep, we mean push forward. We don't
Yeah.
mean sweep into the dustbin.
No. No.
We're sweeping you forward to the finish line.
Yeah.
And that person who's doing that, who's helping you, is a volunteer. They're not paid to do it.
Yeah. There's nothing more rewarding as a sweep
Than
than to
getting
than
people
to
to
getting
the,
people to the finish line.
especially if they've been in the hurt locker, if
Yeah.
they've been suffering, if they find it tough.
Yeah.
Like, it is so rewarding.
Yeah.
Like at Two Bays, that guy that we got to the
Yeah.
finish line, even though it wasn't an official finish, he was so wrapped. He was like, I've got to wait for all the sweeps so we can all cross the line together. He
Yeah.
was so lovely. Like,
Yeah.
it was, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
So if you love ultra running, don't just race it, help hold it up.
Yeah. Yep.
Be a part of it.
Yep.
Yes, so
That's
is
that.
that.
So
Yes,
the bottom
indeed.
line is, if you get the opportunity, volunteer to
And
do
make the
race.
opportunity, like,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
We're not, I mean, you've been injured, but
But I'm not doing it because I'm
you're not
injured.
doing it because you're injured, because in
No.
actual fact, that's the worst thing for your injury.
Yeah.
We like to volunteer with, just throughout the year, always.
Yeah.
We're always, we did 2 bays in January, Hut Tut in February,
Yeah.
so it's like, come on, we need volunteers for all races. I mean, I always see on Facebook race directors calling out, please, can I get some volunteers? So be
Yeah.
that person,
Yep.
give back to the community. Don't just take
Yeah.
all the time.
Yep. No,
Yep.
absolutely. We love it. And
Yeah, and it's awesome. It is fun. Yes, it is. Like, we ended up paying for accommodation and driving all that way. And yes, it's a little bit of a cost, but that's
it's
okay.
still worth it. Still
Worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Worth it.
Yeah.
And I mean, we could have got accommodation with the,
Yes, they did offer, and they do every year offer us
but
accommodation.
when we have to sleep all day, we don't want to be part of
No,
that.
because
They're busy and noisy during the
if
day.
there's one thing that the lodge where the organisers stay, it's not quiet.
Yeah. So we're like, nah,
So yeah,
we need sleep. We
yeah.
need sleep. So we were happy to just,
Yeah.
pay for our own. Like,
Yeah.
you'll get a lot of race directors will pay for the accommodation, and Hut Hut do too.
Yeah.
We just choose not to.
Yeah.
And we're happy to pay for the
Yeah.
and when I say we, I mean you.
Yeah. So yeah, it will be a bit of a financial outlay, but the reward, it's
so
it's
what?
worth it.
Like, everything
Yeah.
costs money. You might as
Yeah.
well spend it on something that's actually meaningful.
Yeah. And we do it, like I say, we enjoy it, so we pay for it because we enjoy it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I love being part of other people's running journey, not just my own, which is why I'm a coach too.
Yeah.
Because to me, I mean, you think about it, I'm either working, which is running coaching, or running, which is running, or volunteering, which is running,
Yeah.
or reading a book, which is running, watching YouTube, which is running.
You're reading
boring.
You're reading a book
Fixing
about
your feet.
fixing feet. So
And which I've said to my daughter, she has to read too. She's like, oh, for the love of God. And I'm like, yes, you're going to have to fix my feet. And she's like, oh.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's everything to me is running. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to help out.
Yep.
All righty.
So
So, little update. We won't be recording next week because we will be going on our own little training camp
Yep.
to Bright, and we will leave Friday lunchtime-ish. And so it's a 4 to 5 hour drive. So sorry, there will be no podcast next week. I do apologize, but
I'm sure we'll have some stories for the following week.
Yeah, I'm sure, because it's me out there running.
We'll
so
be spending quite a lot of time around Mount Buffalo and Bright.
yeah, so on the Friday we're going to get there Friday, and then we're going to do the 10K run. That is the evening run, and we're taking our new camper van, new secondhand camper van.
Yeah.
So we're going to be stealth camping.
Yep.
And do the 10K on this Friday night, and then on the Saturday I'm going to do a 50K run.
Yeah.
You won't do as much because you can't.
No.
because your fitness isn't up there.
Yep.
And then on the Sunday, we'll get out and do some more of the hills,
Yeah,
20
so
Ks ish.
we're essentially going to be recceing, even though we know the area and we know what
It's
the
been a
course
while
is
since
at
I've run it.
yeah, we're just going to go and familiarize ourselves and recce some of the
Because it's
section.
3 weeks before the race, so it's my last big training weekend. And then I will say, let the taper begin.
Yes. Yep.
3-week taper. As I cruise into
Yes.
the race.
So no doubt we'll be talking a little bit about tapering and
maybe in the
what
next
that involves. And
we can talk about, organizing your own running camp, maybe, or I don't know what we'll talk about, but it'll be something to do with running.
And I'm sure it'll be super interesting.
Absolutely. It always is, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Yes. So if you are interested in coaching, give us a shout, because that's what, like I said, that's what I love to do. It is literally my life. I don't even really teach anymore, do I?
No.
I've taught one day this year. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
She keeps messaging me going, can you teach? I'm like, nah. Gosh darn it, I can't, because I'm too busy. Like, I need to be there helping my athletes.
Yeah.
Nothing more stressful than if I'm teaching at school and I keep getting messages from my athletes, because the kids don't like it when I'm texting in the middle of class.
Tell them to shush, keep quiet, because
Yeah,
you text.
because it's like sometimes the kids will be playing basketball and I'll be texting an athlete back and the kids go, what do you think this? Oh, she's on her phone anyway. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Bastard.
Do as I say and not as I do.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, they always say that to me. How come you're allowed to have a nose ring? I said, well, when you're a grown up, you can do things too. I said, I had to be a teenager too, Mind you, nose rings weren't in fashion when I was a kid.
No.
But yes, so anyway, yes. So, so it is my life, coaching, running, everything. So yeah, that's that. So yes. Get on board with Peak Endurance Coaching, the best coaching in Australia, if not the world.
There's no greater coach that cares
than me or Daniel. Because Daniel, we had our staff meeting on Thursday, which was yesterday. And just talking about all his athletes. And he's already planning on going out and helping at, his athletes' races, to be crewing for them. So,
Yeah.
And which is like we're going all the way to New Zealand to crew one of my athletes, So that's the kind of service you get.
Absolutely.
And Daniel's planning on crewing one of his athletes at a backyard ultra to, help him achieve his goal. And that's what we're going to crew for too, is to help my athlete achieve his goal.
Yep.
So, that's what it's all about.
So, how many coaches can you say travel
all the way to another country
to crew for their athlete?
Yeah, but I am so invested in all of my athletes, so invested.
Yeah.
So yes, you know how
So have you got any athletes, doing an event,
somewhere? Well, I think I'm doing enough overseas. I think that's enough. That's enough. So yes. All righty.
All right.
So yes, we will see you in 2 weeks, and we will give you an update. In the meantime, share the show.
Yes.
Even if you couldn't be bothered getting on and writing a review, post about it on socials,
spread the word.
Spread the word,
Yep. We love, and we had a few people mention and not just the podcast, but also, some
people coming up to me and saying they follow me on socials and thank you for all the tips and everything, and that's what I said to them. I want to help. All those tips I give on social media, they're free, clearly, but it's like a lot of coaches gatekeep and they won't give any help unless you're an athlete. And I generally, I don't give all my help because obviously that's not fair on my athletes who pay. I sometimes get people messaging me and they want actual free coaching and free this and that. And when I say, oh, this is how much it costs, they ghost me.
You don't hear from them.
And it's like, I'm not going to give it to you for free. Like, that's not fair. You don't ask a race director for free entry just because you're a runner. You don't ask the race photographers for free photos because you're a runner. You pay for it. You pay for that shit.
You don't drop your car off at the mechanic and say, "Can you just look at this?"
Just tell me what's wrong with it. Just give it a quick little fix, and then I'll just pick it up.
Yeah.
No. So a little bit of Anyway, so but I still give a lot of good advice for
Yeah.
free on social media. And
You
it's
do.
good advice. It's not
Yep.
just bullshit advice that I go, oh, well, you have to subscribe to my newsletter to get more. I'd
But
love it if you
I was going to
subscribe
say,
to
but
me.
even that, the newsletter, it's completely free,
And heaps of
and you
information.
send out a lot of
Yeah.
information on that, a lot of
No,
helpful
also,
information.
I forgot to mention on Monday, 23rd of March, 7 p.m. Melbourne time, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, I've got my free, no cost to you webinar on stepping up from the 100K to the 100 miler. So if you've done a few 100Ks and you're like, what does it take to do a 100 miler, training wise, and just the toll on my body and mentally, what is it all about? Will I be able to do it? Come along to this free webinar. All you have to do is go onto my Instagram or Facebook, Peak Endurance Coaching, not Isabel, comment step up, meaning step up from the 100K to the 100 mile, and I will send you the links. When I say I mean the bot will send you the link, okay? Because I've automated it.
Again, when was this?
Monday, 23rd of March, 7 p.m. And that's Monday, 23rd of March. I'm racing on the Friday. Okay. So no rest for the weary around here. So I will be helping people move up from the 100K to the 100 mile, just so you know whether you can do it, because you do. We talked about that with Daniel on the last podcast. Like, you need to go through all of it and go, can I actually afford the time? And is this something I actually want to do? Rather than just entering blindly, come to this webinar, find out if it's actually what you want to do. Right. Comment step up, and the link to the page to register will be sent to you, and it's free. It is completely free. So
sounds great.
But it'll be really interesting. It's actually a webinar I put on for my athletes. So this was part of the private athlete group last year. Someone asked, can you do, because I always say to them, what would you like? I mean, I do some of the topics that I decide, but I also ask the athletes what they would like. And one of the guys said, can you talk to us about what it takes to move up from the 100K to the 100 mile? And that was the webinar I did. And I'm going to be giving it to people for free. Something that normally is only for paying athletes, I will do it live for free, which means because it's live, you can ask questions at the end.
And that's another aspect of it when you're a
Peak Endurance
coaching athlete. You have access to
all my webinars.
All the webinars.
I do them every 4 to 6 weeks. And then there's a special vault where they can go back and look at all the old ones. So if you just join now, you can go back to the vault and look at all the other webinars. So yes, lots going on with Peak Endurance Coaching. So yes, make sure that you register for that event, because it's going to be awesome.
Full of fantastic information as usual.
Because I like to give really good value, and I always
not just opinion, but actual information.
It's not
researched information.
Like, obviously I've got my opinion because I've done 100 milers, but it's also what I've seen from everyone else, and I've done a lot of study on this subject. So yes, indeed. So join now. All righty.
All right.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great week, whatever time you're listening to this. If you're on a run, enjoy. I hope it's awesome. And if it's not, just remember that's really good mental training.
Yes.
On that
note. Okay.
See you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.